Hello, hello, hello. I was going through to see where we had gotten. Now, when last we had convened or been looking at this load order, we had to let, I think it was Skybirds was the name of the mod. We had to let that go. But Birds of Skyrim and Birds and Flocks, as far as we could tell right then, seemed okay. Now, I wanted to look and see where we were on other things. We look okay on a lot of this. Now, I had put, because we went away from CBBE, I put these textures in here. There are other textures you could use. And I used this body because the TMBE body, because it was supposed to be similar to a CBBE body. So I was hoping that shape would be okay. Now, I did put Skyland all-in-one in here for fun, but you know, I'm going to remove it because we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here, and I think I don't want anything here that you weren't interested in. That was the wrong one. I hit the wrong one. So I'm going to remove this patch. I'm going to remove Skyland all-in-one. I always have to do a reset anyway, so it's going to be fine. So we're just going to remove that because that was just something I threw in for fun. I'm going to leave everything else the same, and then you can elect with the space you have. You'll have quite a bit of space here to put in whatever graphics mod you would like. If you have space for it, since you're already using the friendly SMIM, now that's if you stay with that, which you know I think you probably should, but nonetheless. I would suggest the two Clever Sharf textures myself, that Clever Sharf Collection Part 1 and 2. I think you have the room for it. Now, right now, I may not have the contiguous space for it because I have, as we know, I've had to edit this load order, and that bucket now probably has, all that space isn't together, and so I don't really have all that space in one spot. You know, I could try to put Clever Sharf's textures in here for you and see how that looks, but I don't know what you really want to do with that space. You may prefer to do something else. It depends on how much you want to put into your textures. And I know you wanted an SMIM, but I don't remember you having any other big texture. So now at this point, because I think we're getting down to the end, the only things I really worry about, of course, you know, previously things that I didn't worry about caught me off guard, but I'm going to say this anyway. The only things I really worry about is maybe immersive citizens and realistic conversations. This one I'm not familiar with, but it looks so tiny. I would hope that's not going to be a problem. Immersive citizens, I don't know. I have struggled with that in the past, so let's just wait and see what we get out of that. I think we have it low and where it's supposed to be. Now, someone had asked a question about RDO and the fact that I'm not using a certain patch for RDO. Well, this patch here, Immersive Follower Overhaul and RDO, at the bottom of this, if you'll pay attention, and I'm not saying, I don't mean that, that sounded kind of smart aleckly, but I just mean if you go down and read it, the mod author says no other patches for RDO are currently necessary. And then for talking points, Arthmore has tested all this himself. It's not an arbitrary change. It's for the benefit of mod users. Now, I did see some discussion on this going on with a couple of modders, and it was actually on the channel here, I don't know, last year sometime. I was never really sure. Because, you know, they couldn't agree and I was not really sure what was going on. So, I just decided this time to try this. So far, we've not had any issue, and I am using the cutting room floor and RDO, and I'm not using the patch for that. So, I'm just saying I'm not. Also, I did not put RDO way down below alternate start. These are choices made by from reading those mod descriptions and from just testing. So far, I've not seen that we have any trouble with this. And it says there are patches for these other things. And does this say to put this? This might say somewhere. I don't know if it's here or not. Somewhere, you should place it under mods. Okay, this says to put it under mods like Immersive Citizens and Alternate Start. However, and this says stop listening to others telling you to load RDO before Alternate Start. Now, I did put this below Alternate Start previously. However, I don't think this description and this has been updated since Tarshana and Arthmore and them have worked on, their mod and the compatibility. So I've had it up here. I'm going to continue to have it up here unless we run into trouble. If we run into trouble, then I may come up here and move this down below Alternate Start. And then if I really have trouble, I might even try adding the code room floor patch. But I'm hoping that's not going to happen. Basically, worst case scenario, if RDO, if there's some sort of overriding, RDO is supposed to basically, it should still work. Worst case scenario, if a couple of mods mess with anything, they may, you may have some slightly different dialogue. We'll see how it goes. So far, I've not really noticed anything, but I've not been using RDO a lot. So, other people have, and they can certainly comment on this if they want. But this is where I have it for now, and it's doing okay for us. If we think or have reason to think that we need to do something else, then I will move it. And if I do move it, that means I will also have to move, what is it? I would also have to move this as well, because this has to be under RDO. So if I do, I will move both. And then I don't know how that will affect the kissing or the Serana thing, how I would change that. I might leave this up high so that if RDO needs to change something, it will win out. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, haven't got there yet. In all our testing, we keep finding little issues, which that's what happens. That's why you want to travel around and play around as you're adding mods in. You really don't want to take 140 mods at one time and do this, but it's something. We did it. So I guess it looks like we are doing well. We're probably going to be ready to move on pretty quickly here in a minute. I don't know if Skyrim mercenaries, it says it adds 3 mercenaries at inhabited locations. So there are 18 mercenaries traveling on horseback. We'll have to check this out. With the additions of the birds and the beasts and everything, it's hard to say if that's going to be too much or if that's going to be okay. So we'll check that out. I'm going to turn that on. Well, let's do some traveling around, and let's go check out these people at College of Winterhold. And do we want to check out the Khajiit kittens? Not yet. Let's just do those 2, and let's go try that out. Now, I got to do a restart because, as you notice, I changed some things, removed some things. So, I'll be back in a minute.
Aye, sir.
Hello again. Yes, now we are in the game. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. That makes it sound like we're starting a new show. Anyway, you might notice that there is game sound. I finally found the elusive setting.
Up around the old Dashnik Orichalcum mine.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I finally found the setting. It was the chat mixer setting that was killing my game sound, so I got
Staying out of
I
trouble,
got that
kid.
set correctly now, which is so good. Now, I hope the game sound isn't too loud, but we're just going to have to try it out and see. I still have Geo and Hulda and Lydia following me. Now, you notice we have all the little birds, so we still have all the birds. We just let one of the bird mods go because it was affecting NPCs. Remember, we had an NPC who was floating off into the sky. So, alright, so we don't seem to have any problems here. Is that guy out here? Yeah, I don't want to talk to him. Now, I did let Skyland go, so we don't have that green color that Skyland has, but we do still have greenish water here. I think that's just the way the vanilla water looks here. It's not anything new. I did a reset, so we should be in good shape. I'm just running around Markarth for a minute. Now, what were we going to look at? You know, I turned those mods on and I forgot. Oh yeah, it was mercenaries. Where are those mercenaries? There should be some mercenaries. Oh, I think they're actually not in the main towns. I think they're out in the little towns. Alright, tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a little trip. Take a little trip. Take a little trip with me. Anyway, I'm being silly. Just. oh, I know. You're going to regret it. Anyway, just go ahead. We're going to go. I'm going to go to Karthwasten first. I'll see you there.
Captain's log supplemental.
Alright, so let's head down to where that mod is. I'll show you the mod that we're looking at. It's this mod here. It's not a huge mod, but the heads and faces don't look right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this down. I'm going to give it a chance. Let's just move it all the way to the bottom. Sometimes I tell people, bring your mod all the way to the bottom. Try it and see if it works then. Now I'm going to get out and I'm going to do a reset. This should allow these guys to load properly. And if they don't load properly from this, then I'm going to assume that there's something wrong with the mod, because I don't have anything in here that would cause their heads to just be black and not exist. At least nothing that I'm aware of, okay? So I'm putting their mod all the way down at the bottom. Now, if this works, then that means I do have something that might be conflicting a little and making their heads black. Then I'll have to make a decision. But let's just try this first. So I'm gonna hop out, do a reset, and come back in. So I will see you back there. I think we were in Morigstead, right? Yeah, I'll see you there.
Up your shaft.
Alright, well, I think the problem is with this mod, because their faces or heads are still black. And see that?
Need something.
The neck is black. There's no real head or face there. So I think the problem is with this mod. Let's go up here and check this guy out.
You have questions?
Oh, it's a girl. Nonetheless, same problem exists. Let's go one other place. Let's just see. Now, I hope the game sound isn't too loud. It's sounding really loud in my ear, but that was a good sign the last time we had something like that. Let's try Riverwood. I think there'll be some mercenaries in Riverwood. Alright, I'll see you there.
Fascinating.
Alright, so we're here in Riverwood. It's kind of late at night.
Be wandering around, isn't it?
Oh, come on, let me wander around. Oh, here we have some geese. Or I think that's a geese. It's kind of a small dodo bird. And it sounds kind of like a chicken. That's alright, we'll let it go. Oh, there's the Pagwar. Okay. Alright, so anyway... I'm just wandering around for a moment. Don't mind me too much. I was going to look for... There's the mercenaries.
Dragon,
Woman, you'll be the
it's my honor to stand before you.
Fine, take your time.
Dragons?
Die of thirst in the heat of this
My goodness, everybody's talking all at once. Oh, now a woman, you'll be the death of me.
Watch over your back.
Alright, these guys still have a problem. You see this? Still the same issue.
One needs something?
Okay, I'm going to try one thing before I totally say this mod is busted, okay? So I'm going to get out. I'm going to turn everything else off, and we're going to come in on Joe's game with that mod loaded and see how it looks, okay? We'll see how these mercenaries look then. So I'm going to go set that up, so give me a few minutes and I will be back.
Illogical.
Alright, so in our mod list, we have this way down here at the bottom. I'm going to turn off all the mods. Now, I'm not going to super hard test this mod, but I am going to give it one chance to see if maybe we're conflicted in some way, if there's some other mod that is causing the black head problem. Or maybe you could say the no head problem. Take your pick. So I turned off everything. We're going to turn that one mod on, and then I'm going to load up Joe's game. You know, Joe is our test guy. He tests all these problems out for us. So we're going to use him to test this out. So I do have to do a reset, so I will be back in a minute.
Affirmative.
Alright, in Joe's game, I forgot that we are leaving on Cheat Room and XP32 and Alternate Star. So I've come back to turn those on when I find it. Okay. And then we'll do another reset and go into Joe's game. So I want to make sure that I keep it the same as we have done before. So I am being a little, I guess, particular, but I think it's worth it to keep everything in sync with what we've been doing. So I'm going to turn that on. So we just have those 3 mods on, and then we have the Skyrim mercenaries on. Okay, so that was a mistake I made. So we're fixing that. I'll do a reset and we'll come back in.
Transfer complete.
Alright, so we loaded up into Joe's game. And I ran across this mercenary first thing, and look at that.
This one needs something.
The head is totally messed up. So I'm going to drop this mod. I don't think there's anything we can do for it. I don't think it's a conflict so much as it is just there's something wrong with the mod.
How can I assist?
Now, I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know. You know, anyway, I can't answer any of those questions. But it does appear that there's actually a problem with it, so we're going to let it go. Oh, I could come up here and kill them for fun, but let's not do that. Let's not get distracted. Joe, stay on course. Alright, so I'm going to leave Joe here, since that worked to our advantage. But you can see the mercenary
This one needs something.
has the black head, or no head, depending on how you think of it. I think of it as the black silhouette head, which means there's really, the head texture is not loading for some reason. And I turned off all the other mods.
What now?
So it's not, I don't feel like it's any of the other mods. I feel like it's just this mod has a flaw. Or maybe the game has changed since this mod was created, and so that mod may not have been updated. I don't know. I'm guessing. Again, since I don't know, I should not speculate. So just ignore that. So for whatever reason, though, that mod, the mercenaries all have that black silhouette head. The head textures aren't really loading. So let's go drop that mod out, okay? I'm not going to bring you through the load screens because those are so obnoxious and there's no need. So I'll see you there in a minute.
Working.
Alright, so let's go get rid of that mod. I'm sorry, that's just another mod that's biting the dust. When you do all these mods all at one time and you don't test it, you don't realize how many of them may have conflicts or have errors or just not be up to date for this version. You know, I don't know how old this is. So, you can always go out and talk to that modder if you want. You know, it sounds like they have a YouTube channel and different things. but we're just going to let it go. Yep, that's me. We're just going to let it go. We're not going to spend any more time on it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to need to turn all these mods back on. And you know, it's funny. They didn't give us any convenient way to enable all the mods. So we just have to do it the old-fashioned way. We just have to come through. And of course, I'll have to do a reset again. But that's okay. Now, after seeing some of the recordings from my previous session, and I know I was trying to show you some of the loads so you would know, some of the load screens so that you'd know the game was loading okay. I found those load screens to still be super obnoxious, so we're just going to try to eliminate like 90-some% of that. I don't think you even care that much. I mean, I don't think you need to see the load screen. I'm sure that if we crashed, I could just tell you, well, we crashed. You'd probably be satisfied. But nonetheless, or I could show you at that point what happened if I needed to. But I just decided they were still too obnoxious, so I'm just not going to do that. This time around, we're going to avoid all the load screens we can. Now, there are some new mods out that are interesting, so I may cut this a little short today so that we can take a look at some of them. I am curious, and I do want to get back to, I have a lot of requests, and I want to get back to doing some of the shows, which is difficult to do because I'm putting a lot of time into this, and that's not a complaint, that's just a fact. Okay, so we can go see the Winterhold place. Let's see. Let's skip some of this. We could turn on the Dwarven luggage. I hate to turn on anything too much that we haven't had turned on, though. Let's just go back to where we were, and then we'll gradually add these in and test them out. Mind you, you don't have to use these skin textures. You can use whatever skin texture you want as long as it's UNP and not CBBE. If it's CBBE, don't use it because you don't. If you're using this body, you don't have a CBBE body. This is just one that looks similar. Anyway, let's see. We've not turned those on yet, so I'm not going to turn those on now. No, we did not turn that on. No. Skyland watercolor for... Oh, yeah, you were using this for realistic waters. That's okay. That was your choice. We'll leave that alone. We will need our patches, so let's turn those on. Okay, so I think we're back. Oh, we should have that on. Okay, I think we're back where we were. So let's check out these guys at Winterhold. I know, I'm now kind of doing what I said I wasn't going to do, but these are easy. It's easy to just travel to the college and just see if there's any issue with these followers. So some of these are quick little tests that won't take but a few minutes. I'm probably not going to go to the kind of trouble I just did for the mercenaries, because if I do that for every mod, we'll be here forever, and I don't think it's necessary. I think if we find a mod with something messed up, if we find like the mercenaries, their head textures aren't loading, I'm probably just going to scrap it. I don't think any of these are really critical mods, and you really don't want a mod that might be problematic anyway. I think what we have left are mainly, really mainly nice convenience or good mods, texture. Everything else seems to be working. We do need to do some traveling around, though, and make sure, so it's another reason. But I'm not going to turn everything on all at once. I worry we're adding people to the game, and I worry sometimes I've overdone it and wrecked my game. I don't really think you are here, but we need to test that out and make sure. So we'll go check out these Winterhold College people, NPCs, okay? And it looks like they're adding 5 novices, 3 mages. They're adding quite a few people. I don't think it'll be too bad. Now, it is under the Magical College of Winterhold. Let's make sure, because it needs to be. Oh, yeah, all of these are under... Yeah, because the way I do my game, yeah, Magical College of Winterhold is way up here. So, yeah, we should be okay, but if there's any issue, we're going to find that out pretty quickly. So, all right. let me get out of here and do a reset, and we will see you there at the magical college.
By the gods, there is a psychopath on the loose!